can cross-cultural workers determine what is an appropriate level of contextualization and avoid the dangers of syncretism? The first thing that comes to mind, I'll just say this imagery that comes to mind for me as I'm thinking about what we're trying to do here, because that's exactly what we're facing in this context, is that balance of what is it that, how can we do this, how can we keep what's important, how can we not get sidetracked. The picture that comes to mind for me that helps me understand it is to say, it's like this path, and we're trying to go down this path, we're trying to lead people down this path that will get them face to face with Christ. And in my mind, it's almost like this stumbling block that's down there. And we've got to lead them down there, and actually they have to meet him, know and understand what he's about, and they have to stumble over him. Whether they're going to accept, whether they're not going to accept, he is a stone of stumbling that they have to come face to face with. And so in the contextualization side of it, what it seems to me is that we're trying to get them, there's all these things that they could trip up on ahead of time before they get to Christ. And so we're saying, actually, we want you to trip on Christ. We don't want you to trip on the fact that I'm a Christian, or the fact that I'm this, or the fact that I'm that. We're trying to clear the path of all of these other dangers. So if I'm standing at the front of the path and I'm working with a group that's, say, Muslim, and I've got a beer in one hand and a piece of pork in the other, and I'm saying to them, hey, I want to lead you down this path and tell you about God and what he's like. The fact that I've got alcohol and pork meat is going to be something that they're going to look at right away, early on the path, before they even heard the message. They're going to be like, you know what, you're not qualified to talk to me about who Christ is or who God is. And so what we're saying in the contextualization and syncretism department is, the contextualization is getting those other obstacles out of the path in order to get them there to come face to face with Christ. If we wanted them to accept, and we didn't want them to come face to face with Christ, and we actually kind of softened the message of Christ to the point that they actually never came and faced him directly and understood him directly, what he was about, then that, in my mind, that's syncretism. Then we've got them down this path without facing the actual key issue of who Christ is. And so for me, I guess the thing that I look at, the danger, is saying you have to understand what it is that you're after. And contextualization is helping you avoid all the other obstacles to bring them to that point. Syncretism is if you were to somehow not actually get them there to the point where they actually face and understand who Christ is and wrestle with who Christ is. If they wrestle with who Christ is and they decide not to believe in him, that's on them. But there's a sense that I get from Scripture that says, if I stand at the front of it and I put obstacles, and there's things that I refuse to give up, or things that I do, or things that I say, or ways that I am that actually interrupt and interfere with them getting to Christ, that's a problem. If they don't get to Christ, or if I somehow get them around it, then that's syncretism. I've got to get them right up there to face Christ. So I guess that's kind of the short answer for me of the danger and the issues that are involved.